Good morning, everyone, and welcome to another edition of LinkedIn Marketing Minis with Karen Yankovich. I am Karen Yankovich, and it's Sunday morning. And when I decided to do this series, I struggled a little bit with, do I want to do them on the weekends? And the reality is, I like doing them on the weekends. I feel like there's a little more peace in my day, right? And also, there's different people that engage on the weekends. So for now, I'm going to do these on the weekends, and we'll see how that goes. So we're live today on Facebook, my Facebook page, but also my Facebook group, which if you do not belong to it, you're welcome to join us at linkedinforwomencommunity.com. We're live on LinkedIn, YouTube, and Twitter /X or whatever we're calling it these days. Because we can, right? Like as entrepreneurs, we have these tools available to us now that allows us to get more visibility in more places. So that's what we're doing here. So yesterday's edition of this show, we talked about how to use LinkedIn, and it was initially going to be like LinkedIn for speakers, how to get speaking gigs, like more randomly and generally. But I ended up diving into more how I'm going to use LinkedIn to leverage a speaking event that I have coming up in a couple of weeks, because I thought that might be more real world, right, than just like generic talking about how to do it. We'll get to it. I got lots of topics to come up, so I'll get to that topic again. But if you want to watch yesterday's or any of the other ones, you can just go to marketingminis.com. I'll take you to a YouTube playlist of all of these episodes. So I'm excited to be doing this with you and looking forward to jumping in today. So if you're here live and you want to jump in with me, please do. I'd love to have a conversation. It's always fun to have somebody that talking with me. One of the goals I have for doing this series is because I feel like with my podcast, I'm always talking at you, right? And I wanted to have something where I was something more conversational. So here we are. So today's topic is LinkedIn for how to use LinkedIn to get, how did I refer to it? Is it joint venture partners? Centers of influence, right? Centers of influence. And I want to talk to you a little bit about what I refer to as a center of influence, because a center of influence does not necessarily have to be a JV partner, a joint venture partner. We're going to talk about that too as I go through this series. But today we're talking about centers of influence and what I love about LinkedIn is the spider webbing we can do as we build our networks, right? So one of the ways that I do that is by building relationships with other people that have audiences that I think would be interested in my stuff, but sometimes through my students. So let me tell you what I mean by that. My program is called She's Linked Up. It's a 12-week program that helps you learn how to use LinkedIn to identify, market, and get a contract for a big ticket opportunity, but also a media hit, because I know that adds to your credibility. So it's a really comprehensive program, and it's a whole lot of fun. And it's also really specific, right? I'm not a business coach. I'm not, I can help you. My goal is to help you fill the top line, right? I want all of the people in my program I want to see the path to them for at least $250,000 a year, if not 7 figures or more. And I don't say that lightly. That's happening in our program. So very often people that come to our program are coming to us. Maybe they already have a business coach, or maybe they already have, somebody that they're working with. And sometimes those people get a little like, well, wait a minute, like you're paying me. What do you need Karen for? Right. So what I like to do is immediately shift that energy. Right. And this is how I refer to it as center of influence marketing, because let's just use a business coach as an example. Let's say one of my students comes to me and joins our She's Linked Up program and has a business coach, right? And that business coach is helping them with, like I help you with the top line, not necessarily the bottom line. I'm not really thinking about expenses and things like that. I mean, obviously we talk about that stuff, but it's not the focus of my work, right? So sometimes people have a business coach or an accountant or whatever, and they're like, wait, what do you need? What do you need 2 people for? So I immediately want to diffuse that energy and shift that energy by saying, can I get an intro to your business coach? Because I want to reach out to them and say, for example, I know you're working with Mary. I know that I just started working with Mary as well. And the work that we do is really very specific and targeted. So I'd love to hear a little bit more about what your goals are for Mary, because if I know what your goals are, I can help supplement that, right? I can help them help them create a LinkedIn strategy to achieve the goals you have worked out with them, right? I'm not looking for competing goals here, right? I want to know what is the work you're already working on, and how can I help you do that even more quickly, at a higher price point, right? Blah blah blah. And so that immediately diffuses that, like, I'm going to just call it like competitive energy, because I don't really have any of that, or I try not to have any of that anyway. Um, and it allows me to now start building a relationship with a business coach who, by the way, now is like, wait a minute, you know, she's making me look good. Who else can I send to her? Right? Hear that? See how that works? So instead of it being a competitive type environment, I want it to be a collaborative type environment. I do really believe that the work that I do is very complementary to much of the other work that's out there, because I am not like, because I'm really taking this and I'm using LinkedIn as the platform, and really LinkedIn is the platform. It's not really all just LinkedIn strategies. It's how are we using this powerful platform to help you get that big ticket contract, right? And who are the people you need to have in your life to make that happen? All of that is complementary to most of the other business coaches out there and the work that they do, right? Because they're working with you on maybe creating your suite of services or all that other stuff, right? So this is complementary to that. So I want an introduction from every one of my students to other coaches that they've worked with or that they're still working with, because that allows me then to help them do it. Like, now we're working as a team as opposed to all this different stuff going all over the place, right? And that's what I love about centers of influence, because now you're starting to build these amazing relationships. Now, sometimes these center of influence relationships become JV relationships. And what I mean by that is, sometimes a joint venture relationship might be one where I'm promoting you and I get paid a percentage of anybody that purchases your program through my promotions, right? So that's like a true joint venture or affiliate. Not really talking about that, but it doesn't mean that these centers of influence don't sometimes turn into that. But we're not talking about starting out that way. There's a very different energy about approaching a strategy on LinkedIn around looking for a joint venture partner where you're going to give them a percentage of your sale, of the sale, and a center of influence, right, where you're just looking to collaborate on a client maybe that you already have, and hopefully then that center of influence can continue to send you more business because you're making them look good, right? So it's a beautiful, beautiful thing all the way around, and it gets done. Such a simple, heartfelt, powerful strategy. And this is one of the reasons why I am, I really want to focus on supporting women, because I think that women don't really, they don't feel included in this strategy. They feel like it's all left-brained, and you get all these spam messages, and like, I don't want to do that. I don't want to be messaging 100 people a day. Who's got time for that? And I don't want to be doing that either. And I don't want you to be doing that. These strategies we're talking about here are so powerful. They lead to such huge opportunities, and it's done leading with your heart, not leading with your strategy and your brain and all the things. I have a lot of stuff going on up here, right? So I work really hard to temper the right brain and left brain, and that's why I want to do this series, this marketing mini series, because I think that I want you to see how you can do the same thing. You can complement all of the other work that you're doing by creating a very simple and heart-led strategy on LinkedIn with a little PR flavor filtered in, right? So that you're landing the highest ticket opportunities you have, and then you can pay people to help you with all the other stuff, the funnels, all the reels, and all the other stuff that maybe you don't like. I certainly don't have any. I don't have any skills around creating reels, right? I can record them, but beyond that, like, I need to hire somebody, right? But how do I hire somebody? I got to pay them, right? How do you pay them? You sell your highest ticket opportunities. So I just wanted to kind of lay this centers of influence strategy out for you today. If you're not sure how to get started on LinkedIn, take the LinkedIn Success Style Quiz. You can check that out at linkedinquiz.com or KarenYankovich.com/quiz. There's been some people telling me LinkedInquiz.com is not forwarding properly. I'm still working on it, but it's one of those things where it works for me, so it's hard to troubleshoot it, right? But Anyway, linkedinquiz.com or go to my website, and there's links all over at KarenYankovich.com with for you to get to the quiz. If you want to learn a little bit more about this Centers of Influence strategy, I just did an entire podcast on this a couple weeks ago. So you can check that out at KarenYankovich.com/234. And you can listen to an entire, half-hour episode just talking about the Center of Influence strategy. And I give you lots of good tips there and ways to get started and how to find these centers of influence, because there's a lot of different ways you can find them too, right? So I want that to work simply and powerfully for you as well. All right, I will be back here again tomorrow. Let's take a quick look at what tomorrow's topic is. Tomorrow's topic is a good one. Your LinkedIn daily routine, which is a question I get asked all the stinking time, right? So tomorrow is going to be a good one. If you want to know what your LinkedIn daily routine is, or what my LinkedIn daily routine is, or what I think your LinkedIn daily routine should be. And it's simple, right? Really simple, not taking a ton of your time routine. Come join us again tomorrow, 10 a.m. Eastern. I'll be here. Wherever you're watching this, I'll be there again tomorrow. See you then.